Hi everyone, my name is Charlie and today I'm going to do the mid-year book freakout tag. I wasn't tagged by anyone. In fact, I'm doing this over a month after the tag was first created. It was created by two people. One who is Shami at Read Like Wildfire and one who is it Ali? Jane? We actually only have 19 weeks left of the year. This is what, you know, when you work in retail, you become very aware of these things. So, it's not a mid-year book freakout tag for me. We're this far into the year, and I haven't recorded a tag video in ages, and I really want to, so I'm going to read the questions off this little device here, and hope for the best. The first question is the best book that I've read so far this year. I think I'm going to stick with Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. It's the book that I've read most recently. It's very fresh in my mind, and it does, at the moment, surpass all of the other books that I've read this year. Another close second would be Freya by Anthony Quinn, but this book it is brilliant to me. It had everything that I wanted to read within a book. It had highs, lows, it was family saga, and everyone who knows me knows how I like reading about family. And it dealt with like trading and stuff that I never thought that I'd actually be interested in, and I was very gripped by it here. I think that Hobb did a great job, and I'm looking forward to its sequels. The next question is the best sequel I've read so far in 2016. So for this, I'm just going to go and look at my book. So the only sequels I've read so far this year have been, again, by Robin Hobb. I'm going to mention Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. It's the second book in the Farseer trilogy. It's my favourite book of that trilogy. I don't know whether I was supposed to pick books from 2016 for this. If I was, I'm sorry, I haven't read that many. This book returns us to the world of Fitz. It's the second book. I've got a whole review about it, but basically a lot of stuff goes down in this book, a lot more intrigue. It's great. The next is a new release you haven't read yet, but you want to. For this, again, I have the entire second shelf here that is full of new releases at the moment, but the book I'm going to choose is The Muse by Jessie Burton. The Miniaturist is one of my favourite books. I really think that Jessie Burton's a great writer, and I kind of had been looking forward to this book the most, and it was one of my most anticipated reads, so this is one I'm looking forward to reading. The next is my most anticipated read for the second half of the year. And I don't know. Probably Autumn by Ali Smith, because I'm not really sure what it's about, but I read Public Library and Other Stories last year, and I thought it was a brilliant short story collection, and I'm looking to read more of her work. Obviously there's the next illustrated Harry Potter edition, but you already know what that book's about. It's only the illustrations you're after with that one. I don't know. Probably the Ali Smith book. Yeah, that one. Biggest disappointment. Well, this could be a few books. It could be Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare, that I've given away already. It could be Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. If we were going for like the mid-year book though, like we couldn't do that really. We're going to stick with that one. We're going to say Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. Again, have a rant about that. It's a rant that I'm questioning whether to like take down because of the swearing, and I don't want people to think that I got that far much angry about someone smelling like cloves a lot, but I did. It really annoyed me. No, the book starts out brilliantly. I was really excited after 200 pages of reading, and then it very quickly went downhill from there. It forgot what it was about. It decided it was going to amp up the romance while forgetting, like, actually, this girl's trying to investigate who really killed her parents. So that's probably going to be more at the forefront of her mind than shagging Julian. But who am I to say these things, really? I only read 9 Bastard in books. The biggest surprise. So the biggest surprise, I'm going to say, was Freya by Anthony Quinn. Having not read Quinn's work before and only knowing that this was a story about female friendship, I didn't really know what to expect. So it was a pleasant surprise. I really enjoyed this book, and I think about it often, so let's say Freya by Anthony Quinn. Favourite new author? It's not going to be a surprise to anyone, that is Robin Hobb. She has written some great fantasy novels. This one, again, reminded me of when I first read Harry Potter. The sequel, Royal Assassin, was brilliant. Assassin's Quest not so much, but I could forgive her that. And there are so many series, and I'm taking part in the Hobbalong. I'm really enjoying reading people's discussions when, you know, once I've finished the book. I don't make the mistake of reading them beforehand because I read so slowly that I will spoil myself at some point, but Hobb writes so eloquently, and in this book she displays brevity, and her ideas of what she can do in the fantasy world are stupendous. The next one is Newest Fictional Crush, and I don't really have one. I just never understood fictional crushes. Newest favourite character. Oh lord. For newest favourite character, I'm going to go with Iseult from Truth to Witch. She is, if this was like a comedy, she's the straight man in the comedy. She has knowledge, but she's also a worthy fighter. She's kind of like, if this was Xena and Gabrielle, she's the Gabrielle, and everyone loved Gabrielle, didn't they? So, Iseult. Book that made you cry? None. There isn't a book that's made me cry this year. I thought that one of the Robin Hood books might, but they never like reached that stage of like making you sad enough to cry. I've yet to reread the Harry Potter book that made me cry. The last time that I actually cried at a book was Sort of Like a Rock Star by Matthew Quick, and that was like, was it December? Book that made you happy? Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson. I read this book twice. I read it in January, then I read it again in February. I was feeling a bit low both times, and this book helped me out of it, obviously, with the giving up writing for that time and just going through some stuff. This really helped, and I'm very appreciative that this book exists, and it did make me smile, and from the first page I laughed, and I am going to revisit this book so many times, I can tell. I do have the first book, I can't remember what it was called. Anyway, this book. So the next is Most Beautiful Book You Bought This Year, and again I'm going to go to The Muse by Jessie Burton. I really like this cover. I like the snakes, the typewriter, the pistols. It really evokes the Spanish elements within this book. I think it's a beautiful book. And then what books do you need to read by the end of the year? So I'm currently participating in the Hobbalong Read Along run by Sam over at Sam's Nonsense. So probably all the books that are to do with that read along. I think the last book was supposed to finish by the 21st of December. I'm not too sure, I haven't looked at the dates in a bit. I'd like to have completed the entire second shelf of books behind me. There are quite a few new releases on there that I'd like to have got to, like Homegoing, and Here Comes the Sun, The Portable Veblen, The Trouble with Goats and Sheep, The Muse. I also want to continue to reread the Harry Potter books. I did plan a few more rereads this year, but whether I'll get to them I don't know. When we get to December, I would like to reread The Luminaries and reread A Christmas Carol, because I didn't get to A Christmas Carol last year. There's a lot of books. There is so many books, and people just keep releasing them. I think that the publishers might know when I get paid, because I seem to not have any money. And like, I know I pay rent, like I pay for travel costs, but like, there's like, somebody keeps sending books and using my money, and I just keep willingly taking them. And then we have favourite book community member. Like obviously Sam at Sam's Nonsense, because of the Hobbalong, and I just find her videos humorous and engaging. Richard over at Books and Bullshit, Max at Well Done Books, Jen Campbell, Mercy's Bookish Musings, a lot. There's quite a lot of the British booktubers like Simon Savage Reads. There's so many. I appreciate anyone I'm subscribed to, and even videos outside of that, because Lord knows that I don't actually watch every single video. Just because I'm a terrible human being, and sometimes Netflix, if you're making book related content, I've probably watched it. Well, I try to. I have been known to spend like 9 hours a day watching book videos. That can get expensive though. That can get expensive. If someone recommends a book really highly and then someone else does, I kind of like have a... It's kind of like if 3 people recommend it, maybe I buy it. 1 person. Basically, if there's a book someone likes, there's a chance I might buy it, unless like I vehemently dislike the writer's writing. I did try and read Lionel Shriver earlier this year because Mercy talked about really liking Lionel Shriver's work, so I thought, well, you know what, I'll give it a try again. Got a book at the library, and I just can't deal with Lionel Shriver's prose. I am a great supporter of capitalism, I think. I think that's the right thing. I'm a great supporter of books, anyway, and authors and readers, and if you tell me you like books, there's every chance I'm going to throw a book at you. My niece, well, both the nieces have had books that I've read and no longer want given to them. If I've seen books I thought they liked, they've had them. Friends got given books that I thought they'd like. My nephew, he's only 2.5, and I'm already trying to get him to read books. I'm a pusher. It's just a good job that I'm not pushing heroin. Although I'd probably have more money if I was. Don't worry, not reevaluating my life choices. I'm just not that mean. But this took a weird, dark turn, and I want to go and have a cup of tea. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If I was going to tag anyone, I'd probably tag my friend Lizzie, but I just no idea what her channel's called. If you want to do this video, do this video. Yeah. If you're not exposing yourself on camera, you may as well be talking about books. So until next time, that is all.